Well, I'm thrilled to be sitting here with a very busy individual. This is Patrick Smith, who really makes everything happen here at eWater. And I'm very thrilled to spend a few minutes with him. And thank you so much for taking time. I know you're really busy running the company. And, I think it's really nice that you as an executive of the company will just take a few minutes to kind of let the customers and the clients get to know you. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I think the first thing that I wanted to ask you is, how long have you been with eWater?
Gosh, since October of 2003.
Wow. So it's
7 some years or
yeah,
so.
I mean, actually, well,
More than
yeah,
that.
it's like a decade. It's a decade,
Close,
you know?
yeah.
Which, like, when you start talking about your life in decades, it gets a little,
Yes.
overwhelming. And maybe you can just describe, and I mean, you really are the person that makes everything happen here, and the entire staff answers to you, and while Fred is traveling around the country speaking or whatnot, I mean, you're the one that's here, operating the entire business. I know that your team really respects you and appreciates you. I've had a chance to speak to a lot of them and interview them. But maybe you could just describe to everybody like what it is that you do on a daily basis so they know what you're doing.
It varies. I come in and I check the numbers and the stats and make sure everything seems copacetic. I make sure that everybody understands what their role is in that day or that project. My biggest role, I think, here is Fred is such a busy man and always on the go and has a million thoughts rushing through his head every single day, every hour. I am the one that gets the responsibility of taking that mumbo jumbo that comes out of his head and deciphering it and then disseminating it out to be done.
Right, and implementing all of the different visions that he has and, different ideas that he has to serve your customers. And I know that that's true because even as I've been working with him to prepare, this experience of interviewing the incredible staff as well as some of the clients and the customers who've had great experiences and his colleagues. I mean, yeah, he's constantly got, another vision of another way that he can serve people and do an event or teach people or a new product. And but it's exciting to be around those people. It's never a dull moment, right?
Never at all. Yep.
But I think what's really incredible is that, the philosophy and the vision and the mission of this company is obviously to serve people and to make their lives better.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, don't have a situation where they work in an environment where they know at the end of the day when they walk out the door, amidst every challenge that goes on in every business, that they know that they've enhanced people's lives. So maybe you could just talk about that, or maybe there's a particular story of a customer, or a client of yours that has had a transformation. Does anything pop to mind?
I typically don't deal with the customer directly unless, we've really dropped the ball and I have to smooth everything over.
Right.
So not anything really particular, one individual over another. There's a sweet old lady that found her way to my desk named Doreen Cask, and was just a lovely old lady ordering her filters, and
right.
I tend to give her free shipping. But other than that, and I know when we get off the phone, she's always just super grateful, and it makes you feel good that you can really bring some joy to somebody with something so simple.
Right, right. And the truth is, and I've been having the chance to interview a lot of your satisfied customers and your clients, and they just, there's some amazing stories. And I know because you're running operations that, there's a certain level of maybe detachment of all the things. Like I'm getting like overwhelmed with the stories of people that, for instance, with your water filtration systems, how it will literally transform somebody who's had a very bad skin problem for like years. I mean, literally 20 years, and having one of your products go out and within a couple of days have that cleared up. I mean, it's an awesome thing that you're doing. And I think the neat thing, and that's your challenge, is keeping like the cutting edge of always looking for other products that can enhance people's lives. Maybe you could just, talk a little bit about just your staff. I mean, you've got an amazing staff. and just kind of how you work together and all of that, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. Colin was going to be the first person I touch on because he's really makes my job a lot easier in dealing directly with the customers and with Monique. Monique and Colin both amazing knowledge of the products, far beyond what I know.
Right.
And they can handle virtually any situation, and their sales ability and the way they're able to deal with the customers is phenomenal. So for them to be on the phones every day, day in and day out, is just incredible. Colin also takes on the ability of making sure product is in-house and getting it ordered, and so he's a really good friend. He came down here with me when I first came down here from Chicago all those many years ago. So good friend. Monique, again, fantastic with her knowledge of all the products, really. At first she was just Turnasol, and then since we've transitioned, she's done a very good job of gaining the knowledge from Colin on the water. Right. So that's very good, and she does she handles a lot of the statistics and reports that I need pulled to make sure that we're going in the right direction. So always a great hard worker, and even with 2 kids at home, they must never get sick or must never have any problems, because she has never once, I think, called in because of her kids, which is phenomenal. I call in because of my kids. So.
Yeah. And I had a chance to interview her, and she's like the perfect person for you to have in that role. Yeah, she's a wonderful woman. Very,
very phenomenal. Damon, another great guy. We work out together, good friends, and just his ability in the graphics department and the ability to build websites and get people up and going. You yourself have experienced what he's capable of doing in a very short amount of time. So great graphical ability and build here as well is phenomenal when we want to launch something and need to know what keywords and where to place it and how to market it based on internet search engine optimization type stuff. He can pull a report and get very detailed, as well as his video editing. So the way this video looks today will be because of Bill.
Bill, exactly. And I think what's great about that, for people to understand from a marketing perspective, is, I know that your goal and Fred's goal is to do whatever you can to educate, your customers and your clients, and keep them connected to anything, whether it's just an educational piece or an educational video. And I've, like you say, I've firsthand seen the incredible talent of, your staff, Damon. Actually every single one of them, I've personally experienced how incredible they are. And I don't think people really understand that you guys go above and beyond what a normal company does to keep them engaged, meaning like to send out educational videos, or to really keep those websites going so that people have a place they can go for information and education ongoing. It's not just the first time they get one of your products. You're available to continue to educate them throughout the process. And I think that's the impressive thing about what I see in what the company has created. I think it's incredible that I didn't know until you just told me. I don't know how I would know, but that you were friends with Colin, and you and Damon have either become friends, or were you friends before?
No, we recently, over the last couple months, really become good friends. And
I think that really shows, because I didn't know that, but I think that when you walk into your office, you feel like everybody's like, they get along, you're like a family with each other, you support each other. And there's another person who's a part of your actual family, who is an integral part of this business, and that would be your mother.
Yes.
And I think it's important for people to understand that it's like a family business. Your mom Kathy. Maybe you could just talk a little bit about how she's contributed to the success of this business.
Sure, and to touch on the family thing first, because this goes back and there's an even better story. We are really a family here. We joke, we laugh, we have fun. We go out together and we hang out together, and it's cool. And yes, Kathy is my mom, and also Kathy is Fred's wife. So that is real family there, and then the office family. But even before that, when I first came down here, there was a girl that ran the phones named Liz, and I think still a lot of our customers remember who she was. But she's now my wife. So so it's really, we are all even.
She's now, you're married to her.
So,
and did you meet her
yes, here? She was, when I first drove down here, I parked in the office, walked in, said hi to my mom, and she was the first person I was introduced to. Not in this office where we are today, but in our original office.
Wow.
Yes, so.
And now this is your wife, and you have a wonderful little child.
Little munchkin,
Yeah.
But no,
That's neat.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for my mom talking about eWater all those many years ago, and it gave me the interest to even decide to just out of the blue one weekend drive down to Texas from Chicago, I wouldn't even be here today or running this, and Fred's trust and guidance to be here. So no, she's definitely played an integral role, and I really enjoy being able to come to work every day, and most of the days see my mom. Otherwise, she's watching my little girl at home. So, and that's a great help too.
Well, it's incredible because I know Kathy, has played a big part in helping to build the company. But the fact that you as a family have the flexibility to work together, so that she works really hard when she's at the office, and then at the same time can also play that role, which I know she's really enjoying, of being the grandmother of your beautiful child. That makes it really special, and I think it really helps your clients to understand that as a family, there's like that extra added connection, and that. My sense of your clients that I've met is that they really feel taken care of, just like there's a commitment, and even within families, families go through all kinds of challenges, but you always know the family's there for you. And I think that your customers and your clients really feel that sense of commitment from the entire staff and from Fred, that you guys are there for them no matter what happens in their lives. They can call, and as we both know, I mean, things happen health-wise for people, and it's nice to know that there are people, like you say, Monique and Colin, available to talk to. And what's also interesting is that I've watched Fred get on the phone quite often and speak directly to your customers. And I don't know that there's a lot of owners of companies that do that kind of thing. Yeah. No. Well, I just appreciate, Patrick, you taking your time, because I know you are very busy running the company and making sure that the company thrives so that you can continue to serve the customers. And so thank you very much for taking this time.
Definitely. If I may, one more thing. Because we all do know each other, we're all friends, or we are really family, and we're office family. I think that holds everybody to a higher standard here to do their job better, because they're just not an employee coming in and I'm a boss or Fred's a boss.
Right.
We all know that everybody's there for them, but they also, again, I think, strive to be better, because the guy next door to you is your friend, and you guys are going to go to lunch, and you don't want to let them down. So I think that holds up more too, by being a family here as well.
Well, and I appreciate you saying that, because I mean that's the feeling that I got, and every single interaction I've had with you and your team. You guys are incredible. You implement things immediately and are very much get it done, and that's a team effort. And I think it's important for everybody to know that Fred's traveling the country, meeting with people, working on people, but without you and your incredible team, there is no way you could serve the people the way that you do. Right. So, all right, well, thank you again. I really appreciate your time. I know you have to get back to work.